There are literally hundreds, if not thousands, of different lures out on the marketplace. Well, today I'm going to go over 5 that actually work, and most importantly, they're really easy to fish. Hi there. Welcome to the Bass Fishing Life. I'm your host, Steve Rogers. Hey, before we get into the video, make sure that you punch that subscribe button and hit the notification bell. We are posting videos 3 times a week, and that way you can make sure you don't miss anything all year long. Thank you so much. Well, you know what? When you walk down the aisle at the tackle store, it can be really overwhelming, especially for maybe some anglers that are just getting into bass fishing or really getting serious about it. Holy cow, what do I buy? What works? What hooks fish? What hooks fishermen? It's just a crazy, endless process. Well, today I'm going to go over what I think, in my opinion, are the 5 baits that actually work. There's some of them out there that don't work so well. Well, these 5 baits actually work, and my main reason for picking these baits to put on this video is because they can be easy to fish. The learning curve is really small. It's not difficult to pick these up, go out for the first time, and catch fish and gain confidence. And that's how I picked the 5 that I think you will like, not only because they do work, but because they're pretty easy to fish. My number 1 lure, because it works so well and it's not difficult to fish, is a swim jig. Now, a lot of you will probably agree, yeah, that's a great bait. I keep it super simple. 90% of the time I'm throwing a 1/4 ounce version with a twin tail grub for a trailer. I love the swim jig. It works all year, even in the wintertime, but it works all year. It works on any type of lake or river, anywhere in the country. Clear water, staying dirty, doesn't matter. It works so well, and I've got other videos that dive into depth on the swim jig, but I like to keep it in the water column and coming back to the boat or the bank as slow as I can possibly fish it, so it literally just pulses, almost looks like it's going to die, but we keep it in that water column, and it is just an easy meal. I have caught so many lunkers, true hogs, on a swim jig, and the strikes are traditionally really hard, arm-ripping strikes, those strikes that we all dream about. So my number 1 is a swim jig. My number 2 bait, probably rod number 2 that I'll pick up off the deck of my boat because it's got this one tied on, is a square bill crankbait. Not a surprise where it gets its name. Boom, right there, a square bill. This lure, the way I like to explain it to anglers that maybe haven't thrown this a lot, is any place that you would traditionally throw a spinnerbait, you can throw a square bill. It will get ripped through grass just fine. It crawls up and over logs. It'll bounce through rocks. A square bill is so versatile because of that erratic hunting action. It's got that good searching wobble to it, and it deflects off cover really well, and they're not hard to fish. I could go ahead and take a brand new angler out today, put a square bill on here, and I am confident that they will get bit and they will have success with it. Square bills naturally come in a huge variety of color choices and a lot of different models as far as depths go, but a square bill is probably my number 2 for a bait that actually works and it's easy to use, which is the criteria that I focused on for creating this video. My number 3 is one that is really taking the country by storm because not only does it works really well, and that is the Ned rig. You can tell that this particular setup and technique and lure is doing its job of catching fish because just about every manufacturer in the marketplace is creating some sort of soft plastic to be used on Ned rigs. I do have another video on 3 different presentations for a Ned rig, But just if you want to keep it simple, you can throw it out there, let it sink to the bottom, let it drag back to the boat. Oftentimes you're going to get bit on the initial fall as it sinks or as you're hopping it along the bottom. One of my favorite methods for using a Ned rig is just what I call dragging, especially if you're in the back part of a boat or you're on the shoreline somewhere. Throw it out there, let it get all the way to the bottom and just reel it back so slowly, or sweep it sideways with your rod, keeping good contact with the bottom. An absolutely deadly method. If you're in the back of the boat and somebody else is up in the trolling motor, just throw it out there at about a 45-degree angle, let it sink to the bottom, and let the trolling motor do all the work. You can just stand right back there in the back of the boat. There's no slack in your line because the boat's moving, and it wouldn't surprise me if you outfish the person in the front. So the Ned rig is number 3 on my list because it works really well and it is easy to fish. I won't go into all the details of the different ways you can fish it, but it is as simple as throwing it out there, letting it sink, and dragging it back. That will work. My personal number 4 for a lure that works really well, it actually catches fish, and it's very simple to fish, is got to be a stick bait or your Senko style bait. And probably the number 1 way that I fish this is on your traditional wacky rig. I don't care what type of water I go to, what part of the country I go to, this catches fish all the time. So there's a lot of anglers that I know personally, this is their confidence bait. This would be number 1 on their list, and they throw it almost all the time. And when you line up 1,000 anglers and ask them what might be their number 1 go-to rig and bait, and it most likely would be a soft stick bait or Senko style bait thrown on a wacky rig, or maybe even a Nico rig has been very popular as well. But boy, it is hard to beat that. It's got that enticing shimmy on the way down. When you pull it back up, it's got that great action as you pull it up and then shimmies back down. It is good in clear water, stained water. Because of the wacky rig style, when you pull it, it displaces a lot of water, so it can catch fish in dirty water as well. This is a good solid number 4 on my list. Might be number 1 on yours. The 5th bait that I put on my list of lures that actually work and can be real easy to fish, the learning curve is very small, is a soft jerkbait. This particular lure right here has been around for decades because it works. Most serious anglers are going to have one of these tied on at some point during the year. It will work all year long. There's paddle tail versions, there's straight tail versions like this one. The fleeing baitfish method is so effective. It's just like when you see a bass chasing minnows, and those minnows actually break the surface of the water as they're skipping and trying to get away from that predator. That is how I like to fish a straight tail soft jerkbait. I throw it weightless, throw it out there, and I twitch it all the way back and make it dance on the surface of the water, pause it, let it sink, settle, do the same thing, skip it across the surface of the water. It's such an effective way not only to catch fish, but also to locate bass as well. But the main reason it is on this list is because it's not difficult to fish. You can give a soft jerkbait to a brand new angler and tell them to throw it out there, let it sink a little bit, and just keep twitching it all the way back to the boat, and they're going to get bit. I hope that you enjoyed this video of 5 bass lures that actually work, and most importantly, they're easy to fish. Hey, if you've got questions or comments, go ahead and drop them down below. I'll try to respond to you as quick as I can, usually just within a few minutes. Hey, don't forget to go out and encourage someone today, because you never know how you're going to change their life. For the Bass Fishing Life, I'm your host, Steve Rogers.